Once the Iver left the planet, all broken, limping, and with barely a handful of ships compared to the fleet they jumped in with, there was the typical celebrations, funerals, and of course those just trying to get back to some sense of normalcy after the entire world went into one big fight. For me, it just meant cleaning and fixing my gear, restocking supplies, and then closing the footlocker again and simply waiting for the next one. When I told this to Cammy, she was confused at how calm, yet so resolute I was being. I tried to explain to her that an old soldier like me, one with no immediate family, wife, children, that sort of thing, this is just who we are. She didn't understand, but I told her that's a good thing. It's bad enough that I gotta carry this with me. I don't want anyone else to have to, and that's who we are. She sort of got it, but we both left it alone. It was several months before everyone calmed down completely. So many wanted to take the fleet and drive it into the heart of the Ivoric territory, glassing planets and exterminating their entire species on a grand crusade of vengeance. Of course, the loudest voices came from those that would not be anywhere near the front lines, nor would they allow their pissant progeny to risk themselves. This is something that's been going on for, well, since time immemorial, so it's not like it's going to stop now. About a year after the attack, an envoy was prepared to go and meet with the Ivorics. Their mission? To try and bring an end to the fighting. The entire species held our breath as the dragon's breath itself jumped away, alone. We knew that the agreement was to meet on a planet on the outskirts of Ivoric territory. Each side was going to bring one ship, and only one. They took our battleship because if it was a trap, just in case, that death-spitting devil would take down an entire command ship itself. How do we know? We know as the former command bucket is still floating around our sector. Currently, it's being cut apart for scrap. That much processed metal is going to lay the foundation for our new fleets. The new colony on Mars was more than willing to harvest to make its own fleets, and help Earth rebuild its own, of course. When the battleship arrived without any damage, we all released the breath we were holding. The government wanted to make a huge political showing of what happened during the talks, while everyone else just wanted them to dispense with the insane pageantry and just let us know what the hell's going on, okay? As a show of good faith and thanking us from the return of their wounded, the Ivorics agreed with our terms. Most of us fully understood the reality on the ground, but the douchebags, the politicians would not say it. The truth is, they had enough forces to overrun us, but to be successful, they would bleed themselves completely dry. And like the man says, winning a battle but losing an empire is no victory. The Ivoric fear us, but we have no desire to overthrow them. We're now just reaching out into the stars, and to make sure there's no territorial disputes, the lines had to be drawn. Looking over the holographic display, our new territory is rather expansive. Even though between us and the Ivoric there's only 6 sectors from Earth to their own lines, we have so much more space to explore than we even thought. On the other sides, away from the Ivoric, it's just free for us to go through. The Ivoric territory is already quite large. However, it will be centuries before they even start to get close to exploring it all. There was one section that is on the edge of Ivoric space that we did want. No questions. It is the Glomtic's home sector. Originally, the Ivoric didn't want to give it up, as it is a garden world, and those are rare. Of course, there's also the resource rich sector that it sits in. They finally relented during the talks under the understanding that the Glomtics are now a sentient and sapient species. Along with that, they've had issues when it came to the Glomtics, them being, of course, the catalyst to the Ivoric's internal struggles. And add on to that, we humans would take it by force if we had to, and the Ivoric understood this. With the lines now drawn and the treaty signed, we all took a much needed sigh of relief. It seems as though two different species both went, ah. 18 months after it was signed, the first transport ships were being loaded to head back to the Glomtic's homeworld. On board was going to be a set of twins that had grown to their full size. They waved goodbye as they headed towards the awaiting shuttle. My nieces and nephews were fighting back tears as the two disappeared out of sight as they entered the shuttle bay. The shuttle itself lifted off and heading to space to meet with their military escort. Why a military escort? Well, we may have a treaty with the Iberics, but that doesn't exactly mean we trust them. Cammy herself decided to stay on Earth. She continues her work and has actually gotten extremely proficient at it. She gets paid well to do what she does, especially since she can now remove certain damaged cells from the body, fix deep scars, smooth out and remove blemishes. Of course, remove hair, we all knew that one. And this can be done incredibly efficiently without any pain. Sometimes you can just sit there and watch it happen. I don't know if it's from dealing with kids, but she enjoys also going to the children's hospital once a week, as long as we can find out who has been given chemotherapy first. She, well, she tried to clean one of them out once, and, ever seen a Glomtic puke? It's like they're vomiting out of every pore and orifice violently at the same time. It's kind of disturbing. Thankfully, one of I think it was an orderly, broke the tension there when he just yelled, "Clean up on aisle 4!" With all the money that she makes from her job, she actually treats me to vacations. It's her way of saying thank you, at least what she says. And hell, I'm not going to turn it down. As we sit on the beach in the Mediterranean, I sit here thinking about all the craziness I've had to deal with. Then I look over to the purple Gomtic next to me in that white bikini, and all I can think of, I guess it all worked out, and we could finally make peace in the end. I hope you all enjoyed the story, and starting today, I'm going to be sending out a few special thanks at least once a week. And first things first, I'm going to spend a special thanks to Hamish, Ava, SS Demon, and Juan. Thank you all for supporting me, and I'll see you all on the next story. This is Syntext, punching out.